Hello, storytellers. It's Storytelling Ron, and this is my prep for... I'm on the wrong screen. Prep for Christians in Space for the Lord RPG. And this is my GM prep. I'm going to just show you what I'm working on for the fun of it. I'm using Foundry. Foundry I find really handy. Let me move to this one. Not that one. This one. Okay. This is a map of the church, the very first church they've been able to establish, taking over the red cult base, floating over a planet Flotsam, which is the satellite planet of Bernard Star, which is part of our actual real stars, terraformed but abandoned by the Empire. And what is left of these floating platforms. And this is the first church, and we've got some new characters today. This guy, let me delete him. I made him an actor. His name should pop up. Yeah, okay. So this is, I don't know the guy's actual name, but Dragonfire is his Discord server name, so hopefully he'll make it today. Nick and his son's coming, and his son wants to play a Toga. So because they have met the Togas, and these Red Cult members are generally ex-Togas, or they could be other, Galaxians. But he's gonna play this Toga, and I drew speculatively what his character might look like, because I think he's gonna be like a mechanic type warrior guy. And Togas are like Jawas in Star Wars, and they're gonna find out in this story by the ministers that Togas are genetically modified to be inferior. Like they're some of their their aggression, their size, everything is diminutive. Their genetics are controlled that way. Obviously, the Empire made them as a slave class, then abandoned them here on Flotsam, and this was like, they must have made these a while ago, and left them here. And so that's what's left on here. But with nutrition and love and care, the Christians have discovered that they can actually overcome this genetic manipulation, and have some of their abilities kind of return, through the grace of God kind of thing. So that's going to be that story. And then Dragonfire, now he's a new player, so how do I introduce him? He's going to be just one of the ministers that came through from the support missionaries, which are ministers of the church. He's going to be just one of them who decides he wants to be an adventurer. So that's how you can kind of bring in new characters, is that they're part of the church plants and ministers of the church plant, building up the church, that they then want to go on an adventure. And then players that can't make it any longer, like Mando, who I will dearly miss Keith because he's working. He's now a minister at the church. So he'll just be a sort of a character roaming around, working on the church and helping strengthen the church. Something I'm going to introduce today, let me find it, is church buildings. Go back to here. Sorry, I didn't have this ready. Church, building up the church. There's robots. Search and salvage I'm going to use today for sure. And by the way, this is pretty much done. I've just got to, finish up where's the church plant? The oppressors, church plants. So for churches, there's two things that they're gonna have: security die and a health rating. If their health rating is above a 12, don't worry about that. Oh, I should say, once they go above a 12, they can support the church. Oh, here, thriving church. Once the church goes above a 12, then they can start, giving the missionaries, the saints, the apostles, can return to that church and repair things and everything, for a minimal donation or whatever. That'll just be role played out. Security wise though, let's say the security is D4. They're gonna roll a D4 on this, and the lower the worse. So if I roll a D4 on here, let me just roll a D4 in here, and a D4 here somewhere. Where's my D4? It's in the wires. A 1. They're under attack by overwhelming force, minus D12 to their health. So I play that out on myself. Minus D12 to the health. Let's just say they have a 12 health. Oof, they just lost 10 health. They're at 2. They are calling the missionaries. They're in trouble. Something bad has happened. They they got ransacked. Maybe one of the ministers got killed. Depending on how intense I want to make it. But this is pretty intense. A 10. That's the health of a church. If that means someone died, or some togas died, or so you can. If they're already in a full-on story, you could just say that they lost a lot. They're in trouble. Please send us any kind of support and aid you can, because we're failing. If it's something that you can incorporate into the story at some point, then you can say, like, you can create, this is just a thing they got to go do. And maybe there's some pirates in the area, or the Red Cult in my storyline. Maybe they have another faction that came and attacked the church, found it and attacked it, or attacked the ship and destroyed it, or took it. So that's a cool. Or they could have the Dreadbots that are in the area come and attack their church or their ship, because they have a ship now. The church has they have 2 ships now. They have this ship that's hidden here. Let me unhide that because I know it's going to be returning. And they have this ship here that the missionaries took from the Red Cult, and they're repairing that one now. So that's part of the story. And these ministers here, if you can see in the screen, they're going to be handy. Like, there's a doctor here, he's got some skills, some medical surgery, genetic biology. So that's the one's going to tell them about the toga having issues, genetic modifications. And then there's what's this guy? Preaching, yeah, minister. Is he a scientist? Teach, preach, examine, high tech, comms. So he's kind of got some. Minister Henry, the doc, no, the professor. So whatever. He's gonna. So anyway, the 2 ships here. So maybe one of them gets attacked, and. However, I would not actually, because of all this, they're not going to be rolling a D4 for security. They're going to be rolling a D12. I'm going to give them a D12 because, let me show you here. To increase the security of a church, it's kind of a veritable amount of different things, right? And anything that you can come up with that makes sense to increase their security will increase it per rank. So if you start off at D4, then they have a gravity well. So now they're up to D6. They have a gravity well. That lowers them into the cloud. So they have a cloud layer that they're hidden in. They're actually lower than the regular platforms. So now they're D4, D6, D8. They have some guns on here. There's 2 of them there. D10, D12. They're already at D12. They got 2 ships and... Oh, they don't have that shuttle. They have this ship and this ship. That's huge. So that is a D12. This is a thriving church, basically. So I would say D12. I would even go beyond that. I'm going to make a rule here. No, that the security of the church can go beyond the D12, so that they're rarely ever. Well, I think D12 is the maximum. Rarely ever going to be affected, but they will be affected. So I'm gonna. Okay, so they rolled an 8. Revival and evangelism growth, plus D6, plus D4 to security. Okay, so. Let's see, 6 health. Let me write that down. Health. I didn't mean it. Wait, so it's security or health, yeah. I'm just sorry. I need to reword this very simplistically so that it's understandable to everybody. Security or health. Security or health affected. So plus D6 health. Let me just put growth. Revival, not revival. Growth plus D6. Okay, that's fine. Same thing. So. I can add this to their hit points, their health, and then, and so if they have hit points, health points up to like 15, 16, they can absorb some damage on their own and still, make it through just fine. Okay. So they can even tell them, yeah, we were attacked, but we repelled them. We're doing fine. It was difficult, but we're, so. But let me write that down, that the 12 is the maximum security. And, maximum. I hope I don't lose space. Let me pause and do this real quick. Okay, I had to clean this up quite a bit. For the security rule here, I had health affected and security affected, but that's not how it works. It's just the health that's affected whenever something good or bad happens here on the 12. And then if a church, I just added this, if a church loses 4+ health in one go, their security could be downgraded by 1 die rank. The maximum security a church would have is a D12. So when they roll in this, the maximum they have is a D12. They don't go to, just because they have more security doesn't mean they go to D12 D4 plus D4 or D12 plus D6 or whatever. That doesn't matter. But it does matter if they lose 4+ health, their security may be downgraded 1 rank, or lose a factor, if that fits narrative. I'm trying to fit this all. The security may be downgraded 1 rank. Sorry, now I got to do this again. Let me pause again and just fix this and clean it up. That's the plight of a GM and content or whatever game designer. Okay, yeah, I'm kind of sweaty too. Okay, so if the church loses 4+ health in a roll, and this is something I do sort of on my own without even them knowing, their security may be downgraded a rank or lose a factor that fits the narrative. So if they have a bunch of security options that go to D12 or even beyond that, I can take one of those off of the list so that I know that their security is not as good, but they're still, got security, still struggling, still surviving, still growing, perhaps. Again, this is something GM can roll, and it's a guide. You can obviously just make a narrative the way you feel like it should go. But if they've planted a church and left it with full security, let's say D12 security, because they gave it all this stuff, and then a health of 12+, that church is going to be pretty strong and be able to handle calamities. But just for fun, I'm going to roll again. So the security of this church is a D12. 1. That's really bad. Well, so let's say they have a 12 health. They go down 2, so now they're at 10. So what I would do is I would say, if they're at 10, if the players ever want to visit them again, or ask them for help or say, can we come, they're going to say, well, we're really struggling. We're doing okay, but we don't have much to give, that kind of thing. They want to repair their ship there. Well, you can come, but you got to do it yourself because we don't have anything. It'll be like that. If they were still a 12+, then come here, we'll help you. We're going to provide stuff for you if we can. And I would kind of base it on, what's that? Like they might have a lot, like at this Flotsam planet, they probably have a lot of low tech and scrap. No high tech though. So they would cover the low tech, scrap. If they're thriving. Another thing here is Imperial Awareness. If a 1 or 12 is rolled, which I did roll, I rolled a 1, but I only rolled a 2 next. But if I rolled a 1 again, then I can start implementing an empire, like some Imperial force just, becomes aware of this cult or something in this area and wants to investigate. Now I'm creating a galactic map. Galactic manual guide, and that's gonna have all the planets and the empire and their their minions and all that. But they would probably just send out a weak force, like a administration bureaucratic sort of investigation first before, and then with local law enforcement or whatever to check it out. So it'd be like that initially. Because I think that this is just some sort of weird cult faction, which are illegal. Cults are illegal, kind of thing. So yeah, this is the church plant rules, and I have it in the Apostles of the Apocalypse as well, but it's a little different because it's in the Wastelands. But every time I change a rule there, I got to change it here. And actually, I got to do that right now. I didn't do that, so let me fix this. And leaving that in. And actually, I got the AC on, so I'm kind of cold even while I'm sweating hot. Let me pause. I got a itchy throat. Man. Sorry, just getting some little sniffles because of the chill of the AC is working too well. Okay, so that's these rules. And here I made a token to represent the actual church. So it's church. Oh, it's health rating. Okay, so it's at a D12 security because it's definitely got good security. They have not. The health rating is a 9. Yeah, I have all the factors here why the security rating is a D12. Okay, they have another freighter with a weapon, so I'm gonna put this as D12 plus because it's obviously beyond a D12, but I'm not gonna change the rating of a D12. Red Cult Raider ship. So they got that. 1, 2, 3, 4. What else do they have that made them? What? Okay, so they have a hidden in clouds, right? They have the gravity well. 1, 2. Freighter with weapon. Then the Red Cult Raider ship plus D. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4. Plus they start off with D4. So plus D4. Just regularly. 1. So now it's just D12. Wasn't like that before. Okay. And then these are the type of things that they can give them to increase their health. Needs beef. What they need, beef up their spaceship. Worried it's not that armored. Okay. So far the players have given this much scrap. I'm gonna take this off. That doesn't concern me. Needs just everything. Okay. I don't want to play them having to find specific things for the church right now. I just don't want to GM that way right now. So right now they have given them this amount of scrap, low tech, and rations. And like I said when they were playing, once they reach massive amount of scrap. Okay, that's pretty low. Once they reach 40 low tech, then that's going to give them plus D4 to health. I think they've already given him this. No, they didn't give him this. I don't know what this is from. But this is something they already have, maybe? Yeah. From Earth. Yeah. That's where that is. But if they get any more, I'll list it off here. It's just kind of like a cataloging of what they have, what they've been provided. Okay. That's the church. This is the church base. Next, players, if you're watching this, this is where you gotta leave. Okay. All right. I believe they've ended the mission with wanting to find the Red Cult base, knowing they have a transport, and they're gonna go look on the clouds floating above the base, and as this thing is gonna be coming out. I think you can see it. I drew this cool looking dropship, and these are the we're gonna hide this guy. But these are the characters, or the Red Cult members, and I made some new ones that are very zealot. So these guys are gonna fight to the death, because I want them to fight some to the death. And then these other ones are like conscripts, and they were enslaved, forced into it. They're still gonna be drugged out, because that's what the Red Cult does. That's what pagans do. They drug their warriors. And so these guys are gonna fight to the death and force these guys to fight. So that's gonna be, very sad, tragic, whatever, but that's what it is. Whether or not this shuttle will survive and fight them is another thing. And the shuttle has a handling of 16, so it's not very good for handling, because you got to be above that to get any bonuses. So for this, you have to roll a successful 20 to get a D4 bonus to add to shooting or defense or whatever. The regular defense is a 12. The armor save is really good, D12, D6, because it looks like a very thick, hulky shuttle dropship. So it's made for dropping on a planet. Hull 10, that's pretty high. So it's really like a turtle. It does have light lasers, D10, FAR, Auto 3, ammo. It's not gonna. The ammo part is where you need to reload it, so it's not gonna have any issues because it's part of the ship. Armor piercing 2, energy turret. And it's a duel, so I don't know if I have duel as a factor in the game. Let me check that out. Because dual lasers is kind of cool. Where it's under weapons styles that I would have put dual. I think it's all at the top here. Sorry, I'm making you just come along with me. Where did I put it? I know I made a list somewhere. Put it all together. Here, okay. Put it right here. Doesn't look. I don't have dual. I should put dual in there. See, dual. Dual when guns have double barrels. Lessons. See, now I gotta think. Let me think a minute, pause, and I'll come back. Okay, simple enough. Duel, when guns have double barrels, plus D4 to hit and damage, can only be on a turret. So, you write that down here. So it's gonna be, I'm just gonna increase this to D12. Light laser, plus D4 duel. One fuel boost, plus D4 to handling, full enviro, which is like they're tough and they can go to planets. Fast hover takeoff. One fuel boost plus D4. So that go to the handling. That goes to the handling. So for one turn they can, do something. I might make them actually try to board their ship so they literally shoot towards their ship really fast. But I want to roll, make sure I get a good handling roll so that they win or beat the other players. And then they can do it. If they don't beat the other players, or if the other players carefully keep their distance, then that's good for them. Then they won't be able to hit board. Parts, engine, controls, drive. Oh, controls plus D4. That's good to know. So they'll get a plus D6 in one turn if they want to use the boost to get high on this and board. So they only have a few parts, and refuel 4, cargo, gear, cargo, empty, because these guys are just coming out to raid. Refuel 4, cargo, well, I'll say ammo. Yeah, ammo 10, that'd be cool. And fuel 4. So they have that in the cargo. I don't know what the heck. Oh! I lost the ship! What the heck? Why did I lose the ship? Ammo 10, fuel 4. That's a little weird. Hide. Alright, so that's their first thing. Next thing they're going to be doing is going to the cold base itself and dealing with the cold. Now, this fighter ship will only be there if they don't take care of it on the first up above. And what's funny is I realized I don't even need 2 of these because this is small enough. I could just use this guy. But whatever, just leave it there for now. And that's their ship. This is the red cold base, similar to the first church. Okay, but I'll show... So I've added this red cold zealot here. They're hidden in this room. And what I'm going to do is everything's going to be kind of a close range because this is like a cluttered cubicle, sort of dirty, messy room where things are close range. So as soon as they enter, everyone's got cover and everyone's fighting in some weird close combat situation. And he is going to be forcing these other guys, to roll denouement, or they'll be rolling denouement, but he's going to be raising their roll to a pretty high roll, so they have a chance of not wanting to surrender. So there's that. And these are not going to surrender at all. This is, oh, I got to change her to the new. I have a new oppressor vassal token. Switch it here. I don't know why I can't. I wish when I switched in the front, it would switch them both. Doesn't do that though. At least not. I'm not aware of how that would work. So that's the new Athassel. She has a handgun. She has a dagger. She has drugs. She's got some power points here. She uses rage, adds to denouement, so she'll add to their denouement if she feels like they're going to surrender. But they, which I might make these ones do, but they're pretty high on their own. So she may only need to do like a quick D4, D4, especially at the end if they're really injured. Plus, she's giving them drugs. She'll be giving rage D4, plus D4 melee, plus D4 vigor, plus D4 damage. So I'm going to give him that right now. Right here. Plus D6. Let me roll the D4 for vigor. 4. 16. And plus D4 damage. So this is going to be a 10. Okay. And this guy too, same thing. Well, not for the flamethrower. Well, yeah, because he's like crazy, you know. He's just waving it like crazy. So I'm going to say yes. Let me do his plus D4. 1. 15. This is plus D6. His scrap gauntlet goes up 1. This one. And obviously for a drugged. I don't know what I was saying. Drugged. This guy's gonna be drugged, so give him. Not the laser gun, not the assault rifle, the scrape blade. Oops, plus D6, plus D10. And hit points. Vigor. 3. So 15. And drugged. Oh, I think I'll make these guys drugged. I'll leave it like that. Okay, so she has repulse. She has malady. Poison. And she can make it D4, D6, D8, D10 with resistance. Rage. And the malady can be a blast, like it can affect more than one, depending on how many power points she puts into it. And the duration will last until they can clear themselves of that poison. Whether they got to do an antitoxin or something, or med lab thing. And this is another group down here. They got 2 scary dudes and 3 minions. And they know they're coming, so because they've already lost the other Red Colt ship. And then there's got some gunners here, so there'll be a little bit of a land battle. Everything's going to be close combat because of the cloud layer over here. So that's going to be the finale on their planet Flotsam, dealing with the Red Colt. And then after that, I'm going to, if they survive, after that, they're going to discuss going other locations, traveling around to other planets. We'll see how that goes. And I have some other things set up. I'm just going to give you a little preview. If they go to Leyland, here's a space station that I've set up. I haven't fully fleshed it out. This is the corporate side on the left, and on the right is sort of the open market side. That's why I have people over here, because I figure they're going to see them. The corporate side is here, and I haven't delved into that fully. You know, it'll be part of the Galaxy manual guide. And then there's a remote mining area. And this is an arc rock by Marauders who have these little hovercrafts and are raiding this mining facility where tech spice is being mined. And the mining facility is kind of like an automated thing. But obviously I'm going to have some Marauders there stealing tech spice and, I don't know, sabotaging. Maybe not sabotaging the mine because they want it to keep running, but maybe putting their own little controllers in it or something. I don't know. I haven't figured that out. Wolf 1061 is the home of Raptorine, which is my little Tatooine. This is a pipeline that's leaking toxic liquids, but that's okay. It's creating a little oasis here, toxic oasis that's thriving. Which one was this? The Raptor Mine? Yeah. My Raptor Mire. This is a regular pipeline intersection. I'll have some sort of raiding or something going on here. I'll hear some dudes. The reptilians with their riders. You know, they'll get a job. If they do this job, then the settlement will trade. The trade hub will trade with them. So if they go out here and repair something, you know, then they get attacked. Oh, there's some dinos here. Scary, tough dinos. Here's the trade hub. Oh, here. Let me do the small settlement. Market, little. I don't know what kind of story I'm gonna have with that. And the trade hub. You know, they live between the pipes of Raptorine. Still working on that. And this one is planet Solaqua, where the Tuscans live, I believe. And this is their platform on the ocean, their harbor or whatever, island, their fishing industry or whatever they're doing. I haven't really fleshed that out yet. And then on planet Dire Wolf is nothing but, oh wow, I forgot I did this. This is a space station that they can go visit. And I'm still creating, you know, what the story or background of this place is, but all of them obviously should have something cool for them to go see and visit and want to get or do. Some sort of criminal activity, some sort of, you know, factions in there, wanting different things. Okay, so wow, that's what I've been doing. I guess I'm getting some stuff done here. All right, so we Christians can make a Christian role-playing game where we can have, you know, aliens, genetically modified humans, and genetically modified creatures that fits into like a sort of a Star Wars or Star Trek feel. Full of adventure, full of, you know, the aliens sort of concept, although mine makes way more sense than theirs. Genetically modified Tuscan Raiders, Jawas, you know, I forgot all the names of the other ones, but whatever. All the other alien races they have, they're all humans basically, look like humans, act like humans. Those, you know, make sense in a genetically modified universe, but in a galaxy, but in a evolution randomness kind of way, don't make sense at all. Anyway, thanks for, I mean, it's just me doodling and doing a slapdash video again. You know, kind of like a pretend live, but not really live. But anyway, Christians in space, and remember, in the game of life, roll holy dice. Yes, and this is, by the way, for episode 6 of the Space Christians in Space GM Prep. Game of life, roll holy dice.